just about right on time. I think mostly everybody here knows you, but I will go through the formal introduction. Oleg Hribatyuk is currently chairman of the NGO Center Ukraine, and he was former chief of staff for President Yushchenko. Also, he headed up the international division for the National Bank for some time and held many other very important positions, especially in the world of finance. We are very delighted that he is with us here today to discuss the role of civil society in post-election Ukraine. And given what we read in most of the analysis of the election, I guess the other question is, what happened to the Orange Revolution? So, Oleg, we're pleased to have you to talk about your views about the elections and what it means for civil society. And also, we're anxious to hear about your initiative, the New Citizen Initiative, which I understand it comprises about 30 or so NGOs in Ukraine. So, without further ado, Oleg, I turn the mic over to you.
I'm very happy that technically we hear and see each other, so I see no problem in communicating. My day today started in the morning with large conference, Ukraine after elections foreign policy of Ukraine under new president. The conference was attended by major European ambassadors and top American diplomats, and it was organized by one of party of the region think tank. The day is ending up with regular meeting which we have in this premises of New Citizen campaign. This is 18th meeting of this public campaign, and I'm going to describe it later. The country is living on the eve of inauguration. This is what people are discussing. This is what you can see in Kyiv, which was all covered by ice and snow, but last couple of days our loony mayor is fulfilling instructions from newly elected president's office, and they at least cleaned some center. The overall mood in Ukraine is much more relaxed, I would say, and not at all depressed to the extent which I am reading about from many of Western press and including American publications. This election was called rather boring and dull, which I believe is major achievement of Orange Revolution, frankly, because the last one in which I actively participated was too much exciting and dangerous in the sense of feeling of the powder in the air. It reminded kind of almost civil war, and the tension was so high that lots of people still believe it was a miracle that not a single drop of blood was shed during last election. This election is characterized by absolutely free access of opposition leaders and any candidates to mass media. You all know about that, but mostly what has changed people's attitude to elections. Practically Ukrainians are so much involved into politics that you can hear their rhetoric question for whom to vote in second tour. You could hear it anywhere. It is the question I was answering hundreds of times because I like walking in the streets of Kyiv, and I know that people have been making their decision whom to support really with analysis, just putting pluses against one name and minuses against other name. I am not talking about first round. In first round they voted for candidates, and there were 18 candidates whom they actually liked. In second round they've been doing very well calculated choice, and they are not happy about their choice, but they are not at all expecting any miracle from somebody whom they have elected. I like that kind of black joke that Ukrainians were electing that politician whom they are not sorry to sacrifice. keeping in mind that the challenges laying ahead of newly elected president are really enormous. And as we understand, the euphoria or feeling of triumph from the Yanukovych camp has practically evaporated already, as they cannot create new coalition. They are not sure about further steps to be taken. What today was discussed in the morning, where Yanukovych is going to make first trip. Will it be Moscow or will it be Brussels? We hear from Brussels that they expect Yanukovych there on March 1st, and we hear that in Moscow he might be somewhere on March 10th. And Yanukovych advisors try to pretend that there is still discussion where to go. But what people are interested of, not where he will go, but what he will present. Will he present kind of understandable program of reforms? Would he be able to present his action plan, his priorities, his views, if we are talking about foreign policy? Or is he going to ask for more money? And everybody is coming to a conclusion that the worst case scenario would be for him to try to use his first international trips for any kind of bargaining for economic, either is it cheaper gas in Moscow or kind of extra funds from Brussels. So I hope that he is getting that message, because it was widely mentioned today in the conference. Overall difference of this election is that people do not expect from the newly elected president that he will take care of their needs and that he would be kind of a leader showing us where to go. People lots of people, at least I belong to that community, and our public initiative, which unites 40 NGOs, we clearly realize that reforms will be there when people would see those reforms happening. The changes would be there if people and citizens would like those changes to take place. Only initiative and pressure. Frankly, we are discussing now 2 hours. We are discussing about forms of public pressure on newly elected president for him to come to our forum and to answer and give his view and his answer to most important vital issues from Ukrainian society. We have organized jointly with Ukrainian Pravda such an event which we called Ask Newly Elected President, and we have got more than 1,000 questions, and more than 52,000 people has already voted for those questions. And therefore we are going to rank 10 most vital issues for the society, and those issues are far, far away from the issues which have been discussed during presidential campaign. Therefore, our mood is that it is us who will demand for the newly elected president to present his views and his solutions, how he is going to react to those questions which are mostly important for the people. And this is the basic difference and maybe the lesson of Orange Revolution. When we elected Viktor Yushchenko 5 years ago, people decided that we have our own president, we did our mission is over, let the rest be done by the president. The disappointment also brought a certain conclusion that you cannot elect somebody and relax. Civil society is now clearly self-organizing and understanding that electing somebody is probably the easiest step to make sure that government is responsible and takes into account your priorities is something which we are discussing today, and something which is broadly discussed on all our internet forums and what you can hear in the streets. So the lesson of Orange Revolution is that society has to be much more proactive. People have to defend their rights. They cannot trust or rely on politicians' goodwill in order to improve their life. And we have a number of cases in Kyiv where people are reacting to the, for example, unauthorized constructions sites right in the center of Kyiv. We have a number of so-called small victories where community getting organized is causing politicians to change their their corrupted decisions quite often. Therefore, mood in society is ready to action. I guess the fact that Viktor Yanukovych was elected is additional mobilization for many Orange Revolution activists to be ready that there would be attempt on their freedoms. During 5 years, we never had a single case when police dispersed any peaceful demonstration or meeting. I'm sorry, I was talking the whole day today, so losing my voice. But I want to tell you that the mood of civil society, of students I'm dealing with, is very, very determined. We are organizing tomorrow, for example, we are organizing flash mobs simultaneously in Kyiv and in all 24 regional centers, demanding newly elected president to come and to answer to those questions. This is the first action which is broadly announced today in Ukrainian press. We have a number of prominent Ukrainians, writers, philosophers, intellectuals, public opinion leaders joining our movement, and therefore I would say, last phrase, that Ukrainian civil society is much more mature, much more mobilized, has no illusion about goodwill of newly elected president than it was 5 years ago. Probably I would just let you ask some questions and therefore encourage dialogue.